CM Punk shoots again, and as well John Laurinaitis fighting back, and as well Foley returns. What the hell is going on? That's right, I will be talking about that right now. Coming up next on my channel with some Raw talk. You know what's coming up next. That's right, roll my intro. Alright, so Raw just recently went off the air, and I'm here for some Raw talk and as well with my Raw review. And I gotta say, holy shit, that was a good Raw. And of course, we're going into the Royal Rumble, which is just next week. Of course, definitely one of my favorite pay-per-views of the year, so definitely looking forward for that. And we're kicking us off with Mick Foley returning here and looking to be in the Royal Rumble match, which will be tremendous in itself. And in the way, basically getting out of the Royal Rumble match by John Laurinaitis, and as well with Dolph Ziggler not happy about with Mick Foley wanting to be in the Royal Rumble match, and not exactly happy if he indeed does win, which basically is not really the case. That I don't think at all for sure Mick Foley won't win the Royal Rumble, but you know, with that being said, Dolph Ziggler not happy about of course, with Mick Foley being in the Royal Rumble match and not really wanting to face him, and definitely probably not one of the guys to win the Royal Rumble, but it is still cool to have him in the Royal Rumble match if indeed that does still happen. And then we just had that, you know, whole altercation with Ziggler and as well Foley and CM Punk, and CM Punk really just coming out and in a way saving Mick Foley here and saying that he does have some similarities between him and as well Mick Foley, so I thought that was a good way just to kick things off there with Raw, to say the least, as we go into the Royal Rumble, which is next week. Alright, so from there we did have our first tag team match of the night, and that's right, we were able to have a tag team championship matchup between Epico and Primo, which were actually defending their championships against Air Boom and having their rematch after Air Boom losing to Epico and Primo at the Raw House show. And with this one, this was, of course, Epico and Primo's title defense, and to see how they would do. And that was a good match for what it was worth. Basically, it could have lasted a little bit longer, but, you know, I did enjoy it nonetheless. And that's right, Epico and Primo ends up getting the win anyway and retaining the tag team championships. So I'm not too sure if we will get another rematch going into the Royal Rumble, or we will see someone else really get into the mix and feud with Epico and Primo, so we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen with that. But it was a good title defense for Epico and Primo, and yes, they still are the tag team champions, so I am liking what they're doing as of late, and I want to see where this goes, definitely for sure. Alright, so from there we did have, yes, another championship matchup on the line. This time we had the United States Championship on the line, and we had Jack Swagger taking on Zack Ryder in this one. And with this one, it was a pretty good match for what it was worth too, between these two, and Zack Ryder I thought was going to actually pick up the win here, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. And that's right, with 3 power bombs, Jack Swagger was able to defeat and become, that's right, brand new United States champion. So Jack Swagger getting the win there, so wasn't really too happy about that, so we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen with that now that Jack Swagger is the new United States champion. So you know, like I mentioned, we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen with that, but it was a pretty good match. Alright, from there we also did have a Battle Royal, which was surprisingly made by Teddy Long, and yes, it was not a tag team match, so that was a shocker there to say the least. And in this one we had The Miz taking out Wade Barrett, taking out R-Truth, and as well Sheamus, and all these guys looking to go into the Royal Rumble and win it. And with this one we did have R-Truth winning the actual Battle Royal, which was pretty good, so it was a nice little Battle Royal to say the least. And not saying that R-Truth is going to win it, in my opinion. With my top picks as of right now, Wade Barrett or Christian, depending on what's happening with his status and everything, are some of my top guys to actually win the Royal Rumble for the 2012 Royal Rumble. So we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen with that. So definitely, I am looking forward into the pay-per-view, which is next week. So, as far as the match goes, it was pretty good for what it's worth. And from there, we were supposed to have a match between John Cena and as well Jack Swagger, but that really never got underway. And really, we had John Cena getting frustrated after what happened with Ryder, and as well with the actions between Kane and the altercation between them two. And it is confirmed we will be seeing, that's right, Kane and John Cena at the Royal Rumble, and I am looking forward to that and to see how that match is gonna actually play out and everything. I'm sure it will be a good match, and in the way of both of them going over there. So not really too sure who's gonna actually come out on top in this one. I am looking so far as of right now to see to have Kane go out on top as my prediction as of right now, but you know, anything can happen when it comes to that. So we'll have to wait and see when Royal Rumble comes closer, but I am liking this feud between John Cena and Kane and looking forward to see what's going to happen next. So far so good going into this feud, and finally we are getting a match at the Royal Rumble, so I am looking forward for that. Also after that, yes, we did have an appearance, that's right, from Mr. Funkasaurus himself, Brodus Clay, and really in the beginning I didn't really care for how they had Brodus Clay re-debut with this different gimmick and everything, and to me, he's basically doing the same thing he did on Superstars, but with a different gimmick, and you know, he's still not really my favorite, but I will admit this, and it does give me a good laugh, and I am entertained by it, so not really exactly gonna bitch about it, or really overrate the guy too much, and really I'm just in the middle as of right now, so he's still not really my favorite. But, you know, he did have a match with JTG in this one and defeating JTG. So, to me, as of right now, he's like a mixture of Goldust and as well Ernest the Cat Miller, to me, in my personal opinion. But that's basically it when it comes to my final thoughts on Brodus Clay. And basically, he is really entertaining me so far as of late. So, you know, I am right now in the middle when it comes to that. So that's it when it comes to my thoughts on that little thing with Brodus Clay and JTG. Alright, from there we did have a main event, and that's why Chris Jericho was in action for the first time in about a year, tag teaming with Daniel Bryan and as well CM Punk, and of course 3 of the best wrestlers in the world today as of right now, taking on David Otunga, Mark Henry, and as well Dolph Ziggler, which I thought was a good main event and a tag team match to say the least. And of course, that's why Chris Jericho at his best, not really getting too involved really at all in this match, and just leaving once again. And as well later on in the match, we do have Daniel Bryan and as well Mark Henry having a brawl, going out to the back and leaving CM Punk with Dolph Ziggler and everything. So that's really what we got there. Then of course Mick Foley looking to get into the match and have a save there with CM Punk, and actually helps get the win there and takes out Dolph Ziggler, which was really cool to see by Mick Foley. And then from there, of course, we did have that whole altercation once again, this time with John Laurinaitis, CM Punk, and as well Mick Foley. And with this one, we did have that little shoot as well with CM Punk and John Laurinaitis there. And with this one, CM Punk looking not wanting to get screwed by John Laurinaitis at the Royal Rumble, and really saying that John Laurinaitis, when he was a wrestler, he was a nothing wrestler, and CM Punk has accomplished more than he ever did in his career. So really good stuff by CM Punk. John Laurinaitis getting really frustrated there and looking to take things out on Mick Foley, which he does eventually, and really getting upset and saying that he's trying so hard to put on the best shows, that he's general manager and looking to be permanently general manager, and really giving a pipe bomb, if you will, with the shot to the back by John Laurinaitis to Mick Foley with the microphone. So definitely a crazy ending to say the least, and we ended things off where we started things up, basically, if you will, there. So definitely I thought it was a good show, and I'm looking forward to see what's going to happen going into, of course, the Royal Rumble Go Home show. So definitely will be tuning in for that. So that's about it for my Raw talk for you guys for this week. Let me know what you guys thoughts are. Be sure to leave a like, and as well feel free to leave your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments, and as well feel free to leave a video response, whichever you feel like doing. It's fine by me. And I do have some good videos coming at you, of course, for this week. I will be having definitely for In the Hot Seat with my brand new guest, and as well with a DVD review what kind of DVD review it is and who is it going to be on. Well, I'll leave that for a surprise for you later on this week, and hopefully you guys will enjoy those 2 videos that I do have in store for you for this week. But that about does it for me. I know 2 videos in one day, very rare that I do that, but be sure to check out with the latest breaking news that I have for the Tag Team Champions, and with Epico and Primo, with my thoughts on that. If you haven't really gotten a chance to check that out, be sure to do so. And that about does it for me. Have a great rest of the night and day. And with that being said, until then, of course, I will talk to you guys definitely later on. Peace.